Jenna, I do. And I was embarrassed and I was disappointed at Doug Pederson's decision because I know it goes into yourself every single week to just play in the game. I also understand how hard it is to play 16 weeks out there on the football field, and the time you get to week 17 just to be healthy enough to play. And I saw guys like Jason Kelce, a big old arm brace on his arm, just still out there competing every single play. I felt like he deserved better.
Yeah.
I saw guys like Zach Ertz after the game. It was 1 a.m. Zach Ertz was still on the field, full uniform on. He may have played his last game as a Philadelphia Eagle after a great career there in Philadelphia, and he deserved better. But I also go back to the comments that Jason Kelce made about a month ago. He said it's not about draft position. It's not about seeing the young guys play. It's about winning. That's the only thing that this game is all about. That's why you put all the work in on Sundays and throughout the week to make sure that you can win a football game. It's not about seeing other players. It's about winning the football game. And, it's embarrassing because I thought the culture in Philadelphia was much better than that. And when I talk about culture, I'll give this comparison. Last season, the Miami Dolphins, week 2, played the New England Patriots, lost by 43 zip, got embarrassed, right? Come week 17, Patriots come down to Miami, I believe, and now they got a chance to get back. Brian Flores, he's preaching culture. He's preaching character. He's trying to build an organization. He's trying to hold guys accountable. And they could have easily lost and tried to get better draft position. But they went out and they fought because the culture said so. They went out and they did their thing and won a football game because that's what it was all about. That's the type of culture that I think should be in Philadelphia. I was disappointed because this went against the culture that I feel Philadelphia deserves and has had in years previous.
Yeah, B, I agree with you and I don't. And it may just be just a difference in perspective or a difference in, like, what hat do we have on now? As a player, you're 100% right. We are trained to win the day. We don't care about draft picks because that draft pick could be a bust or that draft pick may need 2-3 years to develop. And by the time he developed, I may be traded. I could be cut on my way to the next team. So as a player, 100% understand it. But B, if you can put on your general manager hat, your owner hat, I feel like it's a delicate balance of, building the team for today and also building the team for the future. So if his reasoning behind this, and only he knows, if his reasoning behind this was, I just need to see Nate Sudfeld a little bit more real-time reps to determine if he's going to be on our team next year, then I understand it. When I think about what coaches, his comments were, from the Jets organization, the Giants organization, to me, it's kind of disturbing because I'm like, if it means that much to you, then win more than 6 games. Like, you pick your coaches, you pick your players, you control your own destiny in the National Football League. So why are you so upset about what another team has done? Like, you need to control your own destiny. So I feel like we need to put on different hats when we're having different discussions because it's a difference between the players' approach to the game and then also general managers and head coach and ownership.
No, I agree with you as far as the Giants and Joe Judge go. They have to just win more games. That's your responsibility. I agree with you there. But the general manager and the coaches, yeah, you may think about the future draft picks, but you have to worry about your locker room. You have to worry about your culture in that locker room. And I can never walk into a locker room and look my guys in the face. If I'm a general manager or a coach and say, you know what, we went out there and play. I expect the hardest from you, but we put in our third-string quarterback just to give him some reps. To me, that's not the type of culture that I want on my football team. And Nick, when I think about it, if you want to get Nate Sudfeld some reps, start him. Then that gives a signal that you're not trying to win the game. You're actually 100% going for the draft pick. You start Nate Sudfeld. You take Jason Kelce out. We don't want to get you hurt. Zach Ertz, sorry, you already played your last game. Vets, we're not trying to win this game. Our culture has changed. To me, that's not exactly what Doug Pederson is all about. I was surprised by that.
Yeah, so I want to talk about Jason Kelce for a second here, because what's the Cam Newton line? I don't point fingers, I point thumbs. Jason Kelce, my guy. I like you, love your family. And speaking of your family, by the way, I imagine it's going to be a very awkward family reunion once his brother the better looking, more talented of the Kelce brothers, finishes his season in about 5 weeks. When Jason says to him, "Hey, Travis, you disrespected the integrity of the game in week 17 when you didn't play. Oh, you're not trying to win every week, buddy." But set that aside. I got this for Jason Kelce. He's got a lot of comments, so I got one for him too. It was a 3-point game. Alex Smith had just thrown an interception. Nate Sudfeld had just completed a pass. It was 2nd and 5. You were 20 yards out of field goal range. And Jason Kelce, you ground balled that snap that ended up into a Chase Young fumble recovery that ended up essentially ending the game. Maybe do your job a little bit better, because you are a starter.
Okay.
And you do have a third-string quarterback out there. And he's worried about all these monsters on the defensive line coming after him. He's pointing out the coverages and where the blitz pickup is. And Kelce, maybe you could have done your job a touch better, and maybe the storyline is Nate Sudfeld leads a touchdown drive. I don't know. I'm just saying that's possible. But if the argument is that, why is it not fair, Wilds? Tell me. Tell me. Whose fault is that fumble? Just tell me.
I agree that it's Kelce's fault, but if we're going to have an argument about human fallibility, I think you win. Like, people make mistakes. But there's a difference between making a mistake and strategically making the wrong decision.
Yes, I agree with you there, but I guess the point that I'm making is this whole, if we want to go super meta, this whole conversation is about the fallibility of Nate Sudfeld. The whole conversation, when everyone's done talking, the reason this is a topic is because everyone has decided Nate Sudfeld is comically bad, that he is the one active quarterback in the league that if you put in a football game down 3 points, you're forfeiting. That is a wild indictment of Sudfeld. Maybe it's true. But the idea that they gave up all and every chance to win because they put him in a game they were down 3 points, that's the argument everyone is making. Now, what I will say, Wilds, is this. I am more keen to listen to the argument from the Eagles are upset perspective than the lack of integrity of the game hurt the Giants perspective. If you want to say Jalen should have gotten those reps because that's what's better for the Eagles long term, I'll listen to that line of reasoning. But where that, to me, somewhat falls apart is Al and Chris knew Sudfeld might play. So unless Doug Pederson told Al and Chris and no one else, then my question would be, were these guys just mad all week? Were they preemptively angry all week that, oh, man, you're going to let this guy get reps? Or was this always part of the plan and people are now just piling on? Because according to Al and Chris, this was part of the plan.
Yeah, really quickly, Jenna, Nick, but that's where I think Brian is right, is on the player's side. If you make this decision on Monday, Tuesday, and you let the team know, or if you did it in the game, the outcome's going to be the same. Because it's true. You got Kelce with, a whole arm wrap on his arm just to play a game. You got guys, and probably 95% of these guys, fighting through something. So when you go out there and these guys are giving everything and you're not giving everything for that game in that moment, it's going to be a problem. I'm shocked, Jenna, that there wasn't more outbursts on the sideline in real time. But the Eagles, it was a tough decision, but I think it was the right decision if their motives were right.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.